Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Joe Figueroa with another video in our series, The Science of Salsa, an in-depth look at the whys but also the hows of all things salsa and mambo. This week's video is going to be a discussion on the benefits and use of the straight line in salsa, how being able to keep and control the line as well as your position on it helps the dance. So let's get started. I find myself, as I'm sure other dance instructors do, repeating some of the same points, themes, and concepts in classes. Over 20 years in, and even when I take classes from other instructors, even in other dance forms, I hear them telling the class the same things that I say. An example of this is the benefit of the straight line, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you had to have heard me mention. So let's take a closer look at linear dance. I'll show you what not to do, and also show you some creative uses which come easy with understanding. I'll be using terms like line segment, midpoint, center, origin, and endpoint. Typically, a salsa movement is best executed on a straight line. Let's go simple with the crossbody lead. The lead wants to start with first establishing where the origin of the line is. With that information, you can then consider where the midpoint is, the center of the line. The lead is always the center of the line. The follow will move across the entire line from origin to endpoint. As a beginner, a follow would prepare at the origin point and be in movement when getting to the endpoint. I have a video on preps and moves that explains this a bit. Here's the link. No matter how complicated the movement appears to be, I see all movements to first have preparation at the origin. Then the next component provided by the lead is direction, which is extremely important. The direction step is either forward or back on the line. In a crossbody lead, it will be forward. Passing the lead, which I mentioned earlier, is at the midpoint. Then the movement or any change in direction appears on the other side of the lead. In other words, the endpoint of the line. Let's look at a couple of mistakes that leads make when first learning crossbody leads. The most common is not using the power step or direction step. On 1 it's the 5, on 2 it is the 2. It's when a lead leans into their third step on their left and muscles the direction using their upper body rather than their steps on the floor. Another is stepping into the follow space, which is not defining the line. I know it may sound corny, but Johnny said it correctly in Dirty Dancing when he said,
"This is my dance space, this is your dance space. I don't go into yours, you don't go into mine. You gotta hold the frame."
The lead doesn't step into the follow's dance space. Doing so eliminates the understood line and creates confusion for the follow. By the way, if you haven't tuned out yet, maybe you can subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a great deal. It's free to do, and you can always change your mind later. Now let's look at an inside turn, or counterclockwise turn. All the same components apply. First prep steps, the 1, 2, 3, or 6, 7, 1 if you're dancing on 2. Next you have direction, 5 if you're on 1, 2 if you're dancing on 2. Once the follow has passed the body, the inside turn begins. I often see people dancing and either the lead creating turn for the follow whilst in front of them, or the follow beginning to turn early.
An understandable but not excusable mistake.
As I see it, there is no such movement in salsa where the follow would be turning while passing the lead. All turns or pivots take place on either one side of the lead or the other, so either at the origin of the line or the endpoint. Even the outside or progressive turn, when done correctly, follows the same rule. Granted, the direction step is kind of the beginning of the turn, but I examined this and have come to the determination that if the lead is sidestepping or backstepping during a direction step, that still qualifies as the lead getting out of the way of the oncoming turn. See here, step the direction step to get out of the way and provide direction, completing the movement on the endpoint of the line. Lastly, here is a more advanced version of the movement, but still fitting within the parameters I'm giving in this video. I believe that it should feel to the follow like a cumbia or copa, so I refer to this as a cumbia or copa turn. This turn to the left happens on the preparation for the follow, whether on 1 or on 2. The follow breaks back on their right and feels a hard break feel, which implies a change in direction. Typically, the lead would cushion the follow on their left side, indicating that they are there. But sometimes the lead can sidestep, clearing a path for the follow that is momentarily unseen. With nothing felt to indicate to the follow that their direction is being obstructed, the follow continues to move through the cumbia or copa to what becomes a full turn to the left, ending with the follow facing straight forward as they began. This is used often to create what I refer to as a continuous turn, which has the illusion of being a series of turns passing the lead. But again, I say it is an illusion. You can see here that the first turn, as I discussed, happens on one side of the lead. Then direction is given, guiding the follow down the path. once the follow passes the lead. Whatever movement the lead is intending is executed. I had my first Latin social of the year last weekend and was sent this video of a dance I had with Sharon. You can see here 3 different versions of this copa turn with different endings. The first 2 are the same footwork, a copa turn to walk, but the handhold makes them look like 2 different movements. The third is a fancy version of a continuous turn, like you see here in the breakdown. I give Sharon the first turn during the prep, well on my right side, then guide her past me as I step back and out of the way, then an inside turn to finish. So technically 2 left turns for the follow, almost literally the same footwork for the prep and the movement. In the social dance version, I use this handhold to create the first left turn using the high hand, the lefts, to both give Sharon her direction as well as create the second turn after she has passed me. What I do is use my side step, my third step, to begin what seems like a turn for myself to the left, but it's not. It's just a glance. I've released my right handhold and used my left to draw a large circle over both of our heads, thereby creating a second left turn or inside turn for her. Then once I have completed her turn, I pivot back to my right in order to face her for the next movement. With my understanding that the follows follow the hand, I use the handhold that I had to create an obvious continuous turn to the left for Sharon, hence a continuous turn. No different than this. What a difference a handhold makes, huh? That's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description. You can help me to give you what you want to see if you comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully very soon on the dance floor.